Disclaimer, studying has come down to a science, and lucky for you, I got all the tips for how you can succeed and win this final season. Hello everybody and welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Alison if you are new here, and as the title of the video says, we are going to be talking about final season. So if you haven't watched any of my videos before, I am a senior at Howard University, so of course final season is a time that we all dread. But let's go ahead and jump right into it. So if you are in college, you know that the rigor between high school and college are two completely different ball games, and a lot of us didn't have to study to get through high school. So jumping into college, it was a completely different ballgame for me. It's interesting though, because I came into Howard studying journalism and I wanted to be a news anchor, and through that first year I honestly just was so bored. I felt very unfulfilled, and I just knew that it was not what I wanted to do. Overall, it just was not challenging. I just did not like it. It was easy to boost my GPA, but I did not enjoy it. Where I found myself picking nutritional science was when I went over into our dental school. I've always had an interest for dentistry, but I've always been so intimidated by professions like dentistry, medicine, pharmacy, law, any school that requires higher education past undergrad. And so I was intimidated by that journey, and I met some students who just really changed my life and really reshaped my whole perspective. And so I decided to pursue nutritional science because it is an enjoyable way to acquire all of those prerequisites for dental school while also learning about food and how that really shapes your entire life. Once I started studying nutritional science, that is when the whole dynamic of what I thought studying was shifted, because now I'm taking these science courses that you need to memorize and retain and regurgitate when it comes to the exams. The first step in really studying and mastering your finals is know yourself. Know what ways that you like to study. And so I'm going to include a graphic to the right, and we'll take a look at the different ways of studying and how each person learns. So go ahead and pause the video, thumbs it up while you're doing that. So really know what kind of learner you are. For me, it changes for each class that I'm enrolled in because every class has a different structure to it. So I would say that my most common forms of learning is going to be kinetic, which is like hands-on, and really just like interpersonal, so like reading and writing. I'm a big note taker when it comes to class, so really know what type of learner you are. The key to mastering your finals this season, this semester, forever, is to stay organized and make lists. So with that, what I mean is use a planner. If you have a planner, I know some people who like using Google Calendar, some people who like using their phone. Whatever way that you use to stay organized, take advantage and really hone in on that. When I'm filling out my planner, I write out a schedule of what my day looks like what classes I have, if class is canceled, and then on the right hand side I fill out my hierarchy of needs, essentially. So what I need to begin studying for, if I need to begin making flashcards, what homework assignments are going to be due. So that's where I create like my hierarchy of needs. So really staying organized has really helped me, because especially when I write it down, it reminds me that I need to follow through with it, and then I physically check off what I've done, which always is very fulfilling for me. As a part of staying organized, you also need to know your study location and what is the ambiance that you're looking for when you're studying. So some people like to study at the library, at a coffee store, in their house. I personally like to study at home because this is just my comfort zone. But definitely set your ambiance, know your vibe, and be consistent with that. And the more strict you are about your study location and the structure of where you're going to study, the more you're going to lock in, the more you're going to focus. My next piece of advice is going to be that you give yourself time to study and give yourself time to sleep. So with that, what I like to do when I'm studying is I will try to study for 30 to 45 minute blocks with a 5 to 10 minute break following, and I'll do that for about 3 to 4 hours a day. So it doesn't all have to be 3 hours at a time, but sometimes I'll do like 2 hours in the morning, an hour during the day, and an hour in the evening. It all just depends on how my day is going and what all I had on my agenda for the day. But with that, it's very helpful for me because I can't stay focused for a long time. I don't know about you, I can't. So when I'm studying, I try to do those blocks because that's time for me to be disciplined with myself. Okay, 30 minutes without my phone, doable. An hour, I'll get bored and I'm gonna start tuning out. When you give yourself shorter blocks of period of time to study like that, it comes off as more easy, more manageable, and more doable. So you're gonna be more inclined to follow that type of pattern. But again, like I also mentioned, sleep is so important as a part of really being at peace with yourself while you're studying and keeping your sanity while you're in school. So make sure, if you can, to plan to get your work done at a decent time so that you can get between 6 to 8 hours of sleep every night. My next piece of advice is going to be that you engage. So with that, I mean, go to class. I know some of these classes are boring, but you really benefit from just sitting and being present in class, whether you're actively listening or just sitting there. Furthermore, it's also important to note that if you're in class, you could be making use of your time. Even if you're not paying attention in the class, you can be working on another assignment. You can just be chilling. You know, there's so many things that you can be doing while you're in class if you opt to not pay attention. But I found personally that if I skip a class, it's not very likely that I'm gonna go back and catch up on the material that I missed for that class, or I'm not going to go back and look at the PowerPoint presentation. So it works best if I just go to class. Another part of engaging within your academics is to really ask questions while you're in class. Participate. Ask questions that your peers might want to ask but are too shy to ask. It really stands out, and your professor will really take note of that, and they'll look out for you. I promise you. This semester have been a self-proclaimed office hour junkie. I'm in several higher level science courses, and so it's so important that I get that one-on-one time with my professor to ask any questions that I didn't ask in class, or to get further explanation on what exactly we're talking about or how I can apply it to my future. Well, plus it's also great to build those relationships with your professors, because you never know when you're going to need them in the future for a letter of recommendation, or if you can take on an internship with them. You never know what your professors can offer until you hold that conversation. Now. I know final season sucks. This is what, like my 8th final season. So with that, take care of yourself. Self-care is essential. Aside from studying outside of your strict study time, take time to exercise, hang out with friends, go out in nature, play with your dog. You know, whatever it is that makes you happy and whatever makes you fulfilled at the moment, do that, because it really will make a difference in your overall mental health status. Something that I really focus on while I'm studying is, what am I eating during the day, or what are my study snacks? So I typically will eat a lot of fresh fruit or granola bars. I personally try to stay away from the junk food that's not like actively fueling my body, because I try to eat what makes me feel happy and what shows my body that I love it. If you can, I would even recommend penciling in like once a day within your planner or your phone, whatever your mechanism is, to schedule some self-time. Something else I like to do is clean. I feel like when I have a clean house, I'm more at peace and I'm more pleasant. I'm less stressed. Typically when my house is a mess or my room is a mess, that's an indicator of what is going on mentally. If my room is a mess, trust me, I'm overwhelmed and I'm stressed. And cleaning my room will automatically bring that stress level down. Try it. I don't know if it works for you. It works for me. I like it. So let's actually jump into how I study and my study mechanisms. Of course, within my planner, I allow myself time. Give yourself time to study. Give yourself time to really focus on each subject, because cramming has not really ever been to my benefit. It's helped with small details, but in the long run, I have not passed a test based off of the principle of cramming. So when I'm studying, depending on what class, again, I like to take a lot of notes, and when I go home within my allotted study time, I go back through those notes. I highlight, make annotations, I form questions, I reread the textbook and add any other details that I feel are important for my exam or my quiz. I really like to make flashcards because I work part-time. So with working so many hours a week, it's so helpful for me that I have flashcards that I can just be flipping through while I'm at work. No one has ever noticed it. It's very discreet, and I can constantly just be flipping through and reinforcing the material within my brain. And that has shown a significant improvement on my grades. I swear by it. Especially as final seasons comes, I'm giving myself about 3 weeks to really go back and review all the subject material from the semester. I'm gonna get some poster boards from like Staples, Office Depot, wherever. And on that poster board, I'm just gonna go through and review the entire semester. I'm gonna make diagrams. I'm going to focus on key points and key topics and key chapters. And then that way it also allows me to be a little bit more creative, and it to be less structured. It's going to be a lot more fun for me to have colors and to be drawing, and then just, you know, adding in bits of information here and there. But at the same time, I'm also going to be reviewing materials. I'm sure that doing that is really going to help out with my finals, and, you know, I'll keep y'all updated on how that mechanism works for me. And the last topic that I want to talk about, when you are tackling finals, when you are tackling school, when you are tackling life, your attitude and your mindset matters. And I'm telling you from experience, life happens, stress happens, bad days come, but the bright side of that is that they come and they go. And so with that, I really want you to focus on the way you think about yourself, the way you think about your journey, and the way you think about, like, you know, are you doing something that you really want to do for the rest of your life? And for me, of course, there's many days where I'm just like, I hate school, I'm so over it, like, but you know, at the same time, I'm a very optimistic person. So even though I have those moments where I'm just like, I hate this, I hate this, I hate this, you know, it comes and it goes. And I think that's something that's so important for all of you to be aware of. The bad times never last. I feel like there's been so many times within my academic journey where I've had friends that have fallen off, and just the loss, the internal loss that I was dealing with, it's impacted my schoolwork. And you know, I really think that it's so important that I include the suicide hotline number. So I'm going to include that right here. So please, like, if you're going through stress, if you're going through a hard time, like, know that you're not alone. You can reach out to me. You can call this number. You can go to your school's counseling center, whatever resources there are for you, whichever way that you like to really manage your stress and really, like, become aware of what you're feeling and how to really move forward from that. Take advantage of it, because it will make a difference when you're going through finals. It's not easy, it's not fun. I'm sure our professors don't like it either, but just remember why you took on this journey. Remember what inspires you and what motivates you. Every year I make a little collage of who inspires me, what I'm aspiring towards, and that really helps, because it's like, sometimes you really just need to humble yourself. Like, you go through these periods where you're just like, I hate everything, I'm sad, I'm unhappy, I'm starving myself. But that all goes back to self-care and really ensuring that you're doing what you love, because that's what's going to keep you grounded and keep you happy on this journey. So with that, I challenge you to do what makes you happy. I challenge you to do amazing on your finals. I challenge you to like, comment, and subscribe. I challenge you to share this video with a friend, and I look forward to hearing about how y'all finals go. So again, thank you for your support. This is so exciting for me. I'm wishing you all the very best. Pray for me as well, because I'm graduating in May. Okay? So again, go ahead and like, comment, subscribe, share this video with a friend, and stay positive. Bye, y'all.
Yeah.